You know,
What's going on, man?
I'm a little
Frank
disappointed.
Starfire.
Nice to meet you.
And, I'm a simple
Welcome
guy,
back
and
to
I
the world
live
of
my
Frank
life by really
Starfire.
simple means, you know what I mean?
It's an
And,
amazing
I live by
place.
simple mottos and credos
You
and
know,
phrases and
it's a
everything
place
because
with
it works for me, you know what I mean?
wonderful
Lately,
cactus.
I've adopted a new...
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Frank Starfire, host of the Just to Be Frank podcast. That's where we're at. And of course, as you see, I got my boy Shaun Wallace with me. We about to agree to disagree in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
a special birthday edition.
a special birthday edition. Let's talk about that for a second.
I got a couple birthdays coming up. One, my nephew Chase, his birthday's coming up. Is actually Saturday.
Congratulations.
What up, nephew? You already know, no gifts.
It's your gift, boy.
No gifts. and to our number one fan, my man, Mr. Larry Gomez.
Oh yeah. Larry Gomez, well, congrats, y'all. We appreciate you.
What's up to Gomez? What up, bro?
We appreciate you for being the fan that you are. You're the reason we keep doing this. And we burn out.
When I tell you, when I tell you loyal, like dedicated, like he like literally he said the vaccination episode was off the chain. He said that shit was hilarious. It was hilarious. Hilarious. I didn't think it was that funny. I thought it was supposed to be serious.
No, but it was funny.
It was hilarious.
It was funny. But now here's the thing. Now here's the thing. Now
it's always funny.
All right. And okay, so young lady that I
hold on, real quick before you do that. I just gotta because I did cocaine one time, right?
Okay.
And so I just got this prescription for some nasal spray. And it tastes just like cocaine. So I'm gonna take
all right. You know what? Having never done cocaine before.
So placebo effect is I'm
there you go. Yeah, I'm about to drop some knowledge on the people real quick. Number one, I want to drop some knowledge on the people real quick. Before we get into anything, I want to actually bring something to the table here. Why do you think it is that when we're referring to somebody who's acting cowardly, why do we call them a pussy?
When you call them a pussy, you call them a pussy to intimidate them.
Right.
It's a means to get them to change their mind.
But why that word specifically? Why pussy? Is it the correlation to vagina?
Because pussies get fucked.
Okay. That is completely incorrect.
Did you watch Team America?
No. I'm gonna teach you something right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Completely incorrect, and I'm gonna tell you why. The reason we call somebody a pussy is because the word is the shortened version of the word pusillanimous, which means to act in a cowardly fashion, to be timid.
What?
Yes, the word pusillanimous is the word that is the shortened version of that word is pussy. It has nothing to do with vagina whatsoever.
So what I
just learned this.
I have a whole comedy segment about calling myself a pussy. It has nothing to do with being a pusillanimous.
Well, then you're gonna have to fix that because you're wrong.
What'd you say?
I said you're gonna have to fix that because you're wrong.
Oh no, I'm still a pussy. I mean,
there you go.
It's all good. I'm just a pusillanimous. I don't have to refer to myself as a female anymore. It's not because I'm acting girly.
Hey, the more you know. You know what I'm saying?
It's not because I'm a girly, cowardly man.
So, all right. So, interestingly enough, as far as the vaccine goes, I was gonna get the vaccine. I was gonna get it, right? My girl has to. She worked for the job she's gonna get, or she wants. She has to get the vaccine, and I told her that if she would do it, even though she's adamantly as opposed to it as I am, maybe more so, I would do it to support her. So she wouldn't have to do it by herself. And then she told me, that's stupid, don't do that. So I didn't do it.
I mean, it is stupid. It's a stupid reason. I mean, it's a nice gesture.
It's a nice gesture. Things we do for love, you know.
The things you do for love. You're in love since when?
since I found it, you know.
Wow. Okay, we're gonna touch on that topic.
No, I mean, listen, there's nothing to touch on. You know, it's
next week. We're on.
Yeah. We'll discuss that. But
I have a question.
For now, let's talk about first and foremost. You say you want to talk about Will and Jada. Now, why are Will and Jada in the news again? Let's enlighten the folk who may not know.
Well, they're in the news because Jada Pinkett will not stop talking about her relationship. And it appears to be very, very complicated because they've been married for like 30 years now.
Yeah.
Close to 30 years, like almost that. And they're going through the growing pains of a successful marriage, and they're doing it in the limelight.
Well, that might be the ultimate problem right there. I would surmise that having such an open and honest relationship with the world is probably not the most conducive thing to, you know what I'm saying, to keeping your home life, you know, good. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth is, when everybody's got an eye on you, you tend to act different. You know what I'm saying? You move different. You know what I'm saying? Like, we from the streets. When the streets is talking, you know, you got to move different. It's the same principle. You know what I'm saying?
No, those days are over. Now it is this world that we live in is about exposure. It's about exposing the things that you do on a daily basis. I mean, you don't have to, but for some strange reason, people feel the need to expose their life so that others can relate to it and learn from it, or whatever the case may be. But she has she's given way too many details on her marriage. So the first thing she did, she fucked her son's friend.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wait, how did that come out? Did she say that, or
he said that? He said it, and then she co-signed it and tried to call it an entanglement. Shout out to my homegirl.
She didn't co-sign it. She tried to duck that shit. She tried to duck that shit at first.
She did. I mean, she did, because you should. But all right, look.
She couldn't duck that one. Homie was like, "Yo, stop playing with me."
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't always understand the choices people make, and I don't always agree with them. That was their decision to try and do whatever damage control they could for that. I don't know.
This is why I asked the question. Do people have satisfying sex in their relationships? Because if the sex that you're having with your spouse is satisfying, like you're like not that you're satisfied, but it's satisfying,
right?
Like it's right. The bomb.
Right.
Then there's no need for you to be going other places and looking for other people to fuck, because the person that you fucking should be fucking you just fine.
Right.
So my question was, how many people are having satisfying sex in these committed relationships?
Well, all right. So here's the thing. You will never, ever get an honest answer out of that, because men lie on their dick all the time. Women only tell the truth to their friends. You know what I'm saying? So you're not, like, you'll never know. So here's the thing. A guy may believe that he's having a satisfying sex life, meanwhile he is not pleasing his woman. Vice versa. It does happen. You know what I'm saying? See, this is going to go into another realm, but for some reason, you know, women always believe that just actually giving us the pussy, sorry ladies, is enough of a thing that's going to keep, you know what I'm saying, to keep you from straying. And it's more than that. It's the intimacy. It's the playfulness. It's all those things. It's the foreplay, and not just sexual, but it's everything. It's a relationship is going to be satisfying when it has all those elements working together. You know what I'm saying? Mind, body, soul. Like that's a working relationship. And sometimes you can have all of those things and it still might not be the right fit. You know what I'm saying? So it's a really, that's a very difficult question to gauge. For Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, their problem is, again, their shit is all in the limelight. Now, as far as what's going on with them now, I believe she said something to the effect of, and when she was speaking about it, she was talking about in their earlier years and having to learn each other and recognize that, okay, he can't read my mind, even though you should read my fucking mind because you're my man. And Look, we all expect that, but reality is telepathy doesn't work in real life. Not yet, because believe me, if it did, I'd have it. So
it does work. But the only problem is that people are too selfish. You have to have the ability to you have to have the ability to step outside of yourself. Yeah. And see within what other people are doing. Like me, I had the ability one time or at a time where I could literally sit in one spot and elevate and levitate and look down upon myself.
Well, that's astral projection.
Is it?
Yeah, that would be astral projection.
Now, how the fuck do you know all this shit, man?
I read books.
You get all this useless information.
I read books. I watch.
Where do you get all this useless information?
No, you know what? I am, and the truth is the reason because I still read the newspaper. I still want to fucking read. I love to read books. I like to listen to intelligent people. I like to listen to people smarter than me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I listen to my lady and you know, I fuck with tarot cards and crystals and you know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily believe anything, but I have a good idea about everything. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that's the key to life. Like not to know everything, but to just kind of try and understand a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying?
But as far as reading people's minds, like you have to be like it takes time. Like you're not gonna read nobody's mind off bat. No, but if you spend enough time with someone, right, and you actually listen to what the hell it is that they do, watch their movements, you can then start to see like patterns that people go through, and then you'll notice when they say things that this is what they're thinking about, or this is what they aspire for, this is what they know. So if you have the ability to step outside of yourself and focus all of your energy within someone else, and it should be a lot easier within your spouse.
It should definitely do.
You will then be able to read them, and then they will be like, yo,
right. But that, I can't get that past this motherfucker. Building cohesion between all the forces at work. And again, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. Remember that Mariah Carey song, Love Takes Time? Love takes time.
I don't listen to Mariah Carey.
Like, God, come on, man. This is you, boy.
Listen, if you're not playing Honey, I don't know.
I know Mariah got cuts. Mariah got cuts, man. Mariah, because she can't win a versus battle with me. She can't win a versus battle. I love you, Mariah Carey. I am just playing. I love you to death. Please don't fucking whammy me. But no, but the truth is, I think that if
them two, Will and Jada are incapable of like reading each other or
I don't
feeling
think
each
that's the
other or
case
anything like that,
now.
because he's on some shit like, yo, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, but I'm sure that's not the
And
case now.
he's even said that, like, he was giving like life lessons while they were going through this shit. Cause she said the second thing she said was, I don't even, like, I'm learning how to love you. How are you learning how to love someone at the age of 50? Like, you've been married for 20 years and you're just
Because,
now trying to learn how to love this person. And the
well,
whole time
no,
he's been like, yo, I can't do that for you. Like,
but I
I
think
can't
that's
make you
taken out of.
happy.
I
You
think
gotta,
that's.
you gotta make yourself happy. Like,
I think that's
this your
taken out of
responsibility.
context
Mhm.
because think of it in this way: we change constantly. Who you were 10 years ago is not who you are today. Who you were 5 years ago isn't who you are today. Who you were
I think
yesterday
I
isn't
think
who
every
you are.
5 years. I think every 5 years you turn in. You've evolved into.
You evolve. You know what I'm saying? So you do have to constantly relearn somebody. What somebody may have liked back then may not be something they still enjoy now, or vice versa. They may have hated something back then and now they love it. It's we change so much over, and then when you're with someone, it's doubly so because you're taking on their intricacies and you're taking on their hopes and dreams and helping them to actualize and realize their potential as well as your own. That's a partnership. So if you're unselfish, you think of yourselves as we. You know what I'm saying? And you're married, so I'm sure that, and you think of you and your wife as we. When you make a decision,
Absolutely.
you have her in mind for those decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And because
I put my wife before myself, and that was one of the main reasons I decided to get married.
Right.
Is that I knew that my life wasn't just about me.
That's selflessness that
comes
from knowing.
Yeah, I was willing to give myself to somebody else.
Right, but that's selflessness coming from what it knows to be selfish. You see, you've changed, you've evolved. Who you were is not who you are. So in this instance, she's right. She does have to relearn him constantly. She does have to, and he would she.
She said, I'm starting. She didn't
I mean,
know.
listen.
She didn't know then. She didn't know at the time. She's just learning. Like, she's just starting to learn.
Maybe she's been in love with Tupac and was
She
hoping he'd
never
come
loved
back
him.
already.
She said,
Like,
I
what do you
never
want
loved
from
you.
me?
I never loved you. All she loved was what he provided for her.
I don't believe that to be true either. I think it's just. I think that we're,
not money. I'm not talking about like money wise, like it's his career and none of that shit like that.
I have not
it
listened
could be
to
the companionship.
I haven't listened to the whole interview, and I heard the snippets like everybody else, but I'm guessing that context would mean a lot. And from the clips I saw, it looked like she was being more facetious than anything. You know what I'm saying?
You go with the big words. What the fuck does facetious mean?
Facetious means she was pretty much joking. You know what I'm saying? She was saying it somewhat like there's a bit of like, you know what I'm saying, just kind of, just vibing with the moment, trying to understand and trying to grasp with the idea of what she's purporting. And I can understand that shit, but if you think about it, I sit up here and talk for hours at a time. I don't always remember half the fucking shit I talk about. I have to go back and re-listen. But sometimes you say things that don't make much sense. And sometimes you say things that make all the sense in the world. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you're just trying to contextualize a thought beyond what you may have the scope to reason. And it sometimes comes out in the worst possible times, like this. You know what I mean? Listen, long form conversations will have very peculiar moments. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, it's hard to have interviews. You can't just be jumping on these things because you don't know what people are going to ask you, or sometimes they come out of left field and you not be prepared. But the problem is not that, you know what I'm saying, she's taken out of context. It's how many times are you going to keep constantly doing this? Because then she did it again. This time she was taken out of context, saying that she's having a hard time maintaining her sex life with her husband.
Right.
But which is what was she said it was taken out of context. I made a whole big deal out of it. Like, yo, I thought she was doing all of this because she wants a divorce. Like she's like trying to get the fuck out of here. Like she's trying to get out of this. But Will told her a long time ago, like, yo, I'm not getting another divorce. So I thought that she was being like trapped for a second. Like, yo, I like how do I have to disrespect this motherfucker? Like, I have to disrespect you and ruin your reputation in order for you to get the fuck away from me. That's what I thought she was doing, but she was then said, yo, y'all taking everything out of context.
Right.
And she said that she's having like too much sex, or like she's having too much sex, something like that. But how many times are you going to get taken out of context about your marriage? Like, do we have to constantly keep hearing about this shit? This shit? Like,
but that's the thing. When you're in the public sphere as they are, you're going to hear, like, look, the truth is, I guarantee you, if motherfuckers decide in 5 years, 10 years from now to start going back to all my old episodes and listening to some of the fucking cockamamie crazy shit that came the fuck out my face, I'd be canceled. Or worse. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's coming down the pike. So, but that's
cancel culture doesn't exist.
Listen, let me tell you something. Whether it exists or not, whether it's an anomaly or not.
It is a figment of our imagination.
I'll be honest with you. I personally am I'm one of those people that can't stand the idea that you can take something that somebody said years ago, months ago, weeks ago, today, whatever, and be like, well, you're canceled. And like, yo, look, truth to tell it, we're human. We say bugged out shit, especially when you add like just laughter and jokes and just people just being themselves. Like, look, man, the shit we used to talk about when we were kids back in the 90s. Are you fucking serious? Forget about it, man. These motherfuckers would die if they heard the shit we would say to one another. Come on, man.
The 90s was soft.
These motherfuckers would have panic attacks. These motherfuckers would have panic attacks fucking around with us. They soft as baby shit, man. Like, what the fuck, man? This world is so coddled now. And the problem is nobody, look, remember Friday? Remember what Pop said to motherfucking Craig when he had a gun? You feel like real good. You feel like a man with that gun in your hand. Craig said, I'm a man without it. So put your hands up. You know what I'm saying? Now you're a man. What do you say to him? You boy sissified. Scared to take an ass whooping. Like, and that's what it is. Motherfuckers is so scared to take an ass whooping. Motherfuckers want to shoot somebody or fucking or can't. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Stop being a coward. Stand for yours. That's something else. As far as Will and Jada go, I guess they just honestly I think their relationship is, by the way, that last 3-minute rant right there is gonna get me canceled. There's
no such thing.
As far as Will and Jada, I think if they get out of, they're not gonna get out of the limelight. So the only thing they can do is continue to do what they're doing, but just maybe dial it back a bit, or at the very least, try and be a little bit more contextualized with what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the only thing you can do.
I say get ready for more heat, man, because it's not gonna stop here.
Probably not, no. But
she got plenty more in the holster. I don't know what else she has left. I'm pretty sure there's a flamethrower back there somewhere.
Oh my God. Well, listen, we're gonna move on to something a little bit more somber. Over, I guess last week, the son of Alpo, that's his son, right? His son.
No, the Alpo.
Oh, he's Alpo.
The snitch is dead.
Okay.
The Alpo,
The Alpo was murdered. Well, I mean, shot
in Harlem in a 2017 Dodge Ram.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I know people that knew the kid, knew him, and were, they were friends with him. You know what I mean? And for all intents and purposes, he seemed like he was mourned. You know what I mean? And the loss of anybody's life is wrong.
This is a win for New York streets. We finally took a rat down. Finally, a rat died. Let me tell you something. When this happened, Tekashi 6ix9ine is probably pissed his pants.
All right, so I'll be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
I don't care that much about the New York street. Like,
you don't care about the New York street?
No, because if I'm being honest, and
man, you're such a
shout out to everybody making their dollars in the hoods doing your thing, but that's never been what I've been about ever. I learned how to walk fast to get through the motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I was a pusillanimous. I wasn't fucking with that shit. So I got just enough into the streets to know how to maneuver through them. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is,
well, this is a situation because the one thing I can't stand is civilians running around like myself, running around calling people snitches,
right?
Shit like that. Right. And it's like, yo, none of y'all niggas is about that life. None of y'all niggas really have the credibility to even call somebody a snitch. Like, no. This is not your lane. No. This is not your lane. And this dude is a glorified one, like a famous one.
Right.
And he finally came home like 2 years ago or whatever.
Right.
Like after he did his snitching, he finally came home. Like they paid in full was about it.
Yeah, I know that, but
yeah.
My thing is simply this. Like
I thought the thing is I thought the streets got soft. I thought the streets got soft for a second. And
well,
it was like,
all right. So hold on, because I'm gonna say this, and this is the God's honest truth, right? Tekashi 6ix9ine, if ain't nobody put a bullet in him over the shit he did, and as George Zimmerman is still walking the face of the earth, I don't hear nobody talking nothing about no super thug shit. All right. I don't like.
I mean, listen. I'm hopeful. I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe I'll be dead honest with you. Again.
Maybe something's in the water.
And I'm not gonna lie to you.
We're gonna start getting some soldiers out here. Getting the job done out here.
Listen, I'll be dead honest with you. One of the greatest things I can say about my life is that I've been able to be friends with motherfuckers whose Bloods, Crips, gangs, fucking every gang affiliate you could fucking think of. I know somebody who is one, good friends with them, love them to death, and I've never cared that that's what they do. I don't, I'm not going to judge anybody for what they do. You know what I'm saying? As far as, and honestly, I don't want anybody to be murdered. I don't want anybody to be killed. I don't want anybody to suffer the loss of life, except maybe George Zimmerman. I really do not want him on earth, but that's just, it's not my place. But I don't do that forgiveness shit. But
this is why we need these are our soldiers. When I get money, that's what I'm doing. I'm investing in the streets, okay? I'm investing in Bloods and Crips, Latin Kings, all of that. So that when inappropriate stuff happens in the streets, like George Zimmerman, for example, you know what I'm saying? Money's on the table. Somebody go get the job done.
When the police solicitate murder on my show, sir.
When the police start acting crazy, money's gonna be on the table. Y'all gonna know. Listen, I'm gonna get shit done around here, okay? I know why Bloods and Crips and all that was like why they were created. You know what I'm saying? It's just this. It's these irresponsible motherfuckers out here that are getting the money.
Not
dudes from the hood that are getting the money.
They're
sitting there they're buying jewelry, 25 cars, all that shit like that. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, the street soldiers that we have out here are forced to kill each other, and shit like that. Like
Unfortunately, yeah.
KRS-One just dropped his bars. He was like, just dropped the bar. He was like, yo, I got money for ice and diamonds and all that, but diamonds are a girl's best friend. I let my wife rock that.
Right. And that's fair. Look, the truth is, like, yo, look, any real street dude's gonna tell you the same thing. And I heard it growing up because we had different type of motherfuckers from the street back then. Being in the streets is not the right choice. Take your ass to school or learn some way, but make something of yourself that doesn't involve you having to be in them streets because they ain't your friend. You know what I'm saying? The only two places you're gonna wind up is in the bag or in the box. You know what I'm saying? And neither one is a good choice.
Listen, my brother. Not everybody is built like that. Not everybody is built for that. Not everybody is built for education. Not everybody is built for sports. But they just like the other man is recruiting people every day or every year or every month in the police academy. We need soldiers on our streets. The only problem is nobody is investing in that. Nobody's putting money in the dudes in the streets' hands that give them something else other to do besides.
All right, so that's not entirely true.
Whatever it is that they do.
That's not entirely
but
true.
We need to invest into the people in our streets and give and because some dudes are built stronger than others.
Right.
And they should be supported just as much as anybody else.
I mean,
not to interrogate everybody in their own community, but to protect the community.
What I would say is this is my stance on the streets, man. Because like I always say, the streets don't love you back, man. But I would say
because nobody loves the streets. Who's taking care of niggas? Nobody.
Well, but that's the thing. I guess the streets have always took care of themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I to a point, I agree with you. Who's investing in the dudes in the hood? You know what I'm saying? Who's investing to try and help them build up their community? Because selling drugs is not helping them to build up their community. It destroys it. Right?
You got the rappers, like even like Chris Brown's not a rapper, but he has to affiliate himself with Bloods, even though he's like, yo, instead of having security, I'm gonna have these niggas.
Hey, look, and you know what? That's
and
fantastic.
All these rappers are not paying they're paying them and all that stuff like that, but it has to be viewed as extortion.
Right, and that's the problem because
it is a problem when it should just be yo.
Because anything that we do is criminalized. You know what I'm saying? They find a way to trivialize it and criminalize it in the media so that they can spin it to suit the narrative that works for them.
This is my protection. I'm just like, yo, this is my protection. This is your protection. We are here for you. We're here for the people.
But I'll say this. That means that the dudes in the hood, and especially if you're able to, have a
code
obligation.
Yes.
Especially if you are not a felon and can do it, to not only go purchase and obtain a firearm, learn how to use it. You know what I'm saying? But get the training necessary so that you can indeed elevate yourself. But and yes, there should be people who are in that sphere who can help facilitate that. You know what I'm saying? We should be mentoring these young men as they come out of the prison system, like my man Kevin Livingston does with the 100 Suits program. And he goes and he talks to these people in Rikers to help them and teach them how to just step up and become something other than what they were so that they can too come back to the neighborhood and help it and grow. We need more people doing real shit. We gotta stop paying lip service to these politicians who say everything that we want to hear every time a vote needs to be had, but nothing ever gets done. The same thing goes for these religious institutions who, don't fucking provide to anybody in the actual neighborhood. And that's not every, but for the majority. You know what I'm saying? We need to lean on these motherfuckers' necks in a way so that, yes, the people in the streets don't have to sell drugs in their hood. And if they do, they can open a fucking dispensary because the fucking shit would be legal. You know what I'm saying? If you fucking legalize drugs and stop criminalizing everything that people do in there as a recreation, you'd have a lot less of these fucking problems. The other thing that needs to be done is there needs to be ownership in these neighborhoods of the people who actually live in the neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to pay, if I'm in New York, and I live in South Jamaica, Queens, I shouldn't be paying somebody who lives in fucking Williamsburg, Brooklyn, my rent.
Dude, what is all this wishful thinking shit you talking about?
Yo,
like none of the things none of these things that you're talking about can be obtained if you ain't got if you don't have no startup. You don't have nothing you can't go start a dispensary and you broke. It only takes you 200 to get a zip, and then you start working from there. $150 to get you an 8-ball. You work from there.
Right, but an LLC is only
you talk about getting licensing and all that shit.
Right, but an LLC is only 40.
Providing that.
Who's LLC is only $40.
Huh?
An LLC is only $40.
That's the first thing. That's the first thing of many. There's so much more than that.
So what?
Who's providing these opportunities?
If you can sell an 8-ball, listen, if you can sell an 8-ball, you can motherfucking sell an advertisement. You can advertise a business. If you can sell a fucking 8-ball to somebody, if you can get somebody to smoke fucking crack that is completely against their fucking health, you can convince somebody to do amazing shit.
You have to
use
get
those skills.
What are you talking about? No, you're totally off base, bro. You're talking to the wrong people. You're talking to the wrong people. You're out of touch. Like you're telling people to do something that is like so hard and so out of reach for them to do. No knowledge of all that stuff like that.
That's wrong. That's the mentality that's wrong. Nothing is out of reach as long as you have sound mind.
What I just said, getting a zip and flipping that is so easy.
Yeah, exactly. But nothing we're doing is
right. So you can't tell somebody that if they can sell drugs, if they can do this in a business. No, it don't work like that.
Really? Because Jay-Z
seems to disprove that theory. We need way more than an LLC to have a business. You need some.
I agree, but you need startup capital. Listen. I understand all that, but you know what? Again, if you can sell some coke or crack or whatever the fuck it is, then you already have half the fucking gumption to do anything you fucking want. Apply the same level of fucking discipline and pressure to doing something positive as opposed to doing something negative, and you'll reap several more benefits. That's how it works. And that's just now you call it wishful thinking. I call it just fucking thinking. Period.
You're not white. We're not welcome here.
You don't have to be white. That's the other problem with mentality. Intelligence is not a wholly white trait.
You're wild.
I'm not wild.
If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it.
Exactly. Everybody should be doing it, and yet they're not because people seem to keep the same mentality that keeps them down here. It's about elevating your mindset.
It's not a mentality. It's not a mentality. It's not a mentality.
It is. Systematic. You have to alter your perception. You have to alter your perceptions.
We are not in control. It is systematic.
It's not about being in control. It's not about being in control. It is about being in control. It's not. And if you honestly believe that it's all about just being in control, then you have the issue.
Where are you getting money? Like, where are you getting money from? Is the question. Where are you getting money from? Because you're not getting it from a bank. The money that you're talking about to start a business that you're gonna need, where are you getting it from?
You do know there are banks.
All I said was
there are actual jobs. Motherfuckers are hiring.
Get a job. All right, now you're talking about going into the system. This is all systematic. Where are you getting this money from?
I'm sorry.
That's what I said. That's why I said. That's why I said.
Here.
You have to get somebody.
Hold on. You're talking all this slick shit, but you have a job. You have a job.
Yes. That's why you don't see me. That's why you don't see me investing in the community, because I'm sitting here working.
That doesn't mean you can't invest in the community.
But hold on. But now I'm trying a different avenue that will make me more money. And as soon as I get some money, it will be invested in the community that way.
Listen,
I'm not asking you. I won't be asking you to go get $10,000 to get it. I'm going to give you $10,000 to start your business. The question is, where's the money coming from?
listen, if you have
I
enough,
can go. I
listen,
will
let me say
gladly give
something.
a drug dealer. I will gladly give a drug dealer the money to the money to start a business and do advertising or whatever the case may be. But you can't expect them to do that on their own.
No, you can't. But this is what I'm saying. It takes more than you're right. It does require more than just an LLC. It does require capital and all that. But one thing it definitely requires is support. You have to have support. You have to have people that are going to back you. You have to have people that are going to fucking believe in you. You have to have somebody that's going to, you do. These things matter. That's
I know.
does matter.
But you sitting there judging. You sitting there judging the people in your
I'm
community.
not judging anybody. I'm
They're not
simply
doing this, they're
offering
not
them
doing
an
that. It's not
enlightened
that easy.
perspective to alter their perception to a different wavelength. Simple as
Nobody
that.
wants to be doing the things.
Then that's their
they
fucking
doing what
problem.
they have
But
to
guess
do.
what? One or two people are going to hear that and be like, yo, you know what? He's right. But I guess in this instance, we're going to have to agree to disagree.
That's why we on it. That's why we on it. That's why we on it.
You asked, can Snoop save New York hip hop? And
Did you hear about what
he's a member of Def Jam now. Yeah,
he's
he's an executive at Def Jam. Shout out to Def Jam. Always, you know what I'm saying? Hip hop for life. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, before that, did you see Marky's album yet?
No, not yet. I know he's got it in the works. I haven't seen. I know he's working.
I saw something. I'm trying to get clarification. Dude didn't hit me back.
He got one coming out. He's working on his next solo joint, and I know some.
Oh, he's probably out of his hiatus. Yes, I need some new Cap. Like, I don't know Cap. I don't know what your problem is, bro, but you should be dropping shit every fucking month.
No, you know why? I'm gonna tell you exactly what Cap does. Cap is he's very particular about how he puts his music together.
He's so serious.
He is. He's a perfectionist, but he's somebody that his ear for music and what he wants to hear and how he wants to present it. It's a very interesting process, and I appreciate how his mind works in that way. But I agree with you. I want him to drop music all the fucking time. But
he's so old school.
No, you know what? Listen, man.
My bad. You're not old school. But it's about you got like the content. You gotta drop that content every day.
Nowadays it's kind of trash. About that, but
even if the beat is trash, but he's so sonically in tune with what he's hearing. Like he's like
right. And that's the point.
I gotta go tweak that.
His musicality is par excellence, and I like I said, I appreciate.
That's why I love his music.
I love his music because he puts so much effort into it. Brother Vegas the same way. He puts so much effort into his music and the way it's presented and what he does and how he does it. Like, I literally listened to that man work on a fucking song for 3 years before he decided it was good enough to put it out. Like, that takes dedication. You know what I'm saying? So. But you ask him.
I'm excited to hear his shit. Snoop, but Snoop's project, I was very interested for a West Coast dude to single out New York, like yo.
Well, you have to remember, Snoop Dogg grew up in an era where all his favorite MCs and motherfuckers like Rakim, LL Cool J, KRS-One, fucking Kool Moe Dee, fucking. Busy Bee, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Love Bug Starsky and all that. I don't know what the hell just happened.
Nah, I got a call. I don't know.
I got to put my shit down. Do not disturb.
I got to put my shit up there. Hold on. Oh, nobody actually hit me.
Yeah. But Snoop is a very old school motherfucker. I mean, shit, the nigga's 50 years old now. So his level of what he wants to hear, and it was largely influenced by East Coast hip hop. He just happened to be from the West Coast. And even when you listen to his version of Lottie Dottie on fucking Doggy Style, it's so smooth and eloquent. And you can see Slick Rick influenced him in such a way. And, you know.
I didn't even know that was, I didn't know that was a Slick Rick record.
Oh, you know, I knew that.
Snoop was one of my first, he was like my introduction into hip hop.
Really?
Yeah. I wasn't listening to hip hop when I was growing up. It was more, I was
R&B, soul, Motown.
Jazz, old R&B, Motown type stuff. Like
I got that too, but
The Chronic was my first hip hop album.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of my mom's was with the Motown shit. My pops loved old blues and old classic rock. My grandma's loved jazz. My Aunt Bibby was a big Ray Charles, Michael Jackson fan. But my sister grew up with New Edition and all that type shit. And then we had Video Music Box on in the crib, and it was just that was, I grew up with hip hop, so all those things really influenced my, like the first time I remember understanding what hip hop was when I first heard South Bronx, South Bronx, South Bronx, South Bronx, and then I heard The Bridge Is Over, and I was like, oh shit. And then my brother Trev came in one day rapping fucking EPMD, You Got to Chill. And this started my love affair with hip hop and verbiage, because he used the word, because Eric Sermon says it's either Eric, I forget if it's him or Parrish, but he says in the rhyme, never trust no girl, YP, because she's a schizoid. And the word schizoid always fucked with me. Like, that's such an interesting word. And I couldn't have been no more than 6 or 7, but I love that word. So I wanted to know what it was. For me, my first hip hop record was NWA, Straight Outta Compton. First tape I remember being able to put in Teddy Ruxpin pit and press play. And that was, talk about mind-blowing. I heard the word motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit.
Yo, mine was fucking with Dre off the Chronic album. He said, "Nah, I want to
with Dre Day."
Yeah.
Yo, when the Chronic came out,
fucking me now, I'm fucking you, little hoe. I was like,
oh, you think I forgot? Let you slide. Let me ride. And funnily enough, of course, so I knew NWA. I definitely knew Eazy-E, and for me to hear Dre talking about Easy like that, because the Chronic was so big, we heard it on the East Coast. We didn't really hear Eazy-E's records on the East Coast like that. You know what I'm saying? So
to this day, I've never heard an Eazy-E record.
Really? Oh, dog. You know what? I'm gonna send you some shit.
Like, I
ain't gonna lie. Cruising down the street in my 6'4".
That was, I heard that. I heard that one.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Eazy-E rolling down the street in my city. Like, yo, that shit is just so, yo, he got a joint where there's a whole story about how he spent his whole day, because the boys in the hood are always hard. You go talking that trash, we'll pull your card. Knowing nothing in life but to be legit. Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said shit. Like, yo, he was ill. He probably, somebody else wrote it. Obviously, Ice Cube, or somebody else wrote it for him.
No, Ice Cube wrote that.
And he was not shy about that. And that's one thing I always respected about Eazy. Ice Cube writes the rhymes that I say. Like, he was always really, until Ice Cube,
because he was not a rapper. I mean, he was not a lyricist.
No, he was a gangster. You know what I'm saying? So can Snoop save East Coast hip hop? Well, that means that entails that New York hip hop needs saving. And I would argue that as long as there is a Jadakiss, Styles P, Chic, Luch, Nas, Jay-Z, Griselda, Dave East, Method Man, Redman, Joel Ortiz, like Fat Joe, like as long as we still have people like that, Cardi B, Nicki, Remy, like as long as we still have people like that, New York hip hop is just fab. New York hip hop is just fine. Lloyd Banks, you know what I'm saying? Just dropping, like, come on. New York hip hop ain't going nowhere. DMX just put out a fucking super banger of an album, rest in peace, my brother. And that shit was so fucking hard. You still have a Nas. Like, these, you know, New York hip hop doesn't need saving. Now, does Def Jam need saving? Perhaps.
But all right, on that same note, because all of these people that you named, all of them are underground now. Not one of those artists are mainstream. Like Jadakiss put himself in that he put himself in the arena recently.
No,
before that,
listen, Jadakiss has always been in that arena.
No, I get it. Listen, I get it. Lyrically, all of the people that you named will always give you exactly what you need. They are the best in the game at what they do. I totally get it. But none of them are going to dominate your airwaves or your sonics or anything like that.
But that has to do
not going to be in the forefront. Their lyrics are not going to be put.
No, but that has to do with that's more program directors on radio stations, which is going out of the way. Nobody listens to terrestrial radio like that anymore. When the last time you actually listened to the fucking radio?
No. Now it's all play. Now it's the playlist on where it's at.
Right. People listen to what they want to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't listen to anything I don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have to. I have Spotify. I can fucking listen to any fucking song I want and unlimited with no problem, and I'm fine. And I don't have to put anything on my fucking playlist that I don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good. Nobody really listens to terrestrial radio because terrestrial radio plays the same fucking 30 songs over and over and over again. It's pointless. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Do you still need to get up on Funk Flex and spit some bars? Yes. Do you still need to be able to fucking have a good interview in the morning on the Breakfast Club or the Hot 97 Morning Show? Yes. Or Big Boy or in the West Coast or whatever's in Miami or Chicago or whatever. Yes, you still have to reach that to reach your audience. But
okay, all right. So
media,
on that, yeah. How are you on none of these people are are requested like you to be put out on tours and to make shows.
That's bullshit. These motherfuckers are always on tour because that's how we eat here in this rap game.
You're not catching. Everybody's looking at Dave East like, yo, he's a flop. He's never gonna be nobody.
And I don't understand how you can say that.
He's one of the nicest niggas New York has.
Yeah, he is. And the problem is, what's looked at today as a flop.
Here's respect that.
Here's what it is. The truth is, the record business has changed dramatically from what it was back in the 90s and early aughts. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer the time of multi-million-dollar record contracts. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to Jules speak on Joe Rogan's podcast recently, and she said that when she got on, she declined in advance because and Kat broke this down on an episode of the Just to Be Frank podcast. Check it out. I'll put the link right there. He broke down how the record business actually works. And you're always behind the 8 ball if you sign a record contract with a major label. Nowadays, it doesn't behoove any artist to want to be a major label, especially when marketing and promotions, you can do that yourself simply by picking up your phone and getting on Instagram or Twitter or fucking Skype or Snapchat or fucking Reels or TikTok or whatever the fuck it is. You're your own marketing. You're your own promotions. You're your own wardrobe department. You're like everybody's financing their own shit. She was like, she didn't want an advance. All she asked for was like $2,000 a month for living expenses so that she could have a home. You know what I'm saying? That's a fucking smart young lady to think of something like that at 18 years old after everything she'd gone through. And people, and of course, hip hop is all about excess for the most part. So nobody in hip hop is generally thinking, yo, let me do this fucking smart thing and not take an advance, but let me just put my work in and hone my skills and make sure that my music is sonically dope and put the money where it needs to be put. You know what I'm saying? It's all about your priorities.
This is why, hold on, see, here you go again. Here you go again with this wishful thinking stuff. Because you have to have money to get the right people to sonically put your shit together. This is why these dudes sign these deals, and so that they can be put in the best room with the best producers and have the best writers. That's true
only to a point
that they could possibly make.
That's only true to a point.
Now,
because oftentimes a lot of these things get done off of relationships.
Huh?
A lot of these things get done off of relationships. I know you. You know what I'm saying? You come drop some heat in the studio. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit you. You know that works that way too.
Some heat though. Heat. No.
Listen. You got again. This is not the 90s and early aughts. Diddy ain't making fucking every fucking record a hit record anymore. You know what I'm saying? It ain't Scott Storch. It ain't You got new motherfuckers who grew up listening to that and wanting to try new shit now. Like J. Cole says in his response, I forget what rapper dissed him, but he says it. He's like, trap drums is the shit that's hot now. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, hip hop and rapping are not the same thing. Hip hop is our culture. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is what we eat, breathe, sleep, talk. You know what I'm saying? I shit hip hop, god damn it. Fuck that. You know what I mean?
It's an art. Hip hop is an art form.
It is, but it's also a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that you can emulate. You could try, but it always appears to be a little bit fractured, like looking at a picture that's just off when it's not authentic. You know what I'm saying? And that's why this new shit is not hip hop. It's rapping. You know what I'm saying? It's trap music. It sound good. It's dope, but it's not always.
Have some respect. Have some respect.
Will have none,
talk
sir.
nicely. Talk nicely about my trap music, okay?
Hey, listen. You know what? I actually have an interview later on with that I'm going to record later on tonight with a young fella who's coming out of Ohio. And after listening to his music, I recognize that
shit is energetic. It's motivational.
No, I mean, he's actually got a really dope sound, and
I love trap music.
He does, and
I
you know
love
what I'm saying?
He's
got a dope sound, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'll be dead honest with you. The Migos grew on.
You gotta talk numbers on my records.
I don't give a fuck about numbers. I want to hear what it sounds like. The Migos, Offset, and like they made me fans. Okay, I became a fan of the Migos, and I'm not ashamed to admit.
Well, they've recently became more professional.
They certainly have,
and they have gone back,
right,
and taken a lot of the things that have been done already, showing respect to the music of the past,
right,
and incorporating it with their sound today. So they have definitely matured with their music and their visuals, with their sound, everything.
Right. Like and this is what I'm saying. Like, so you ask, can Snoop save New York hip hop? I think Snoop Dogg can do fucking anything. I believe that Snoop Dogg is a quintessential artist, number one, and I think that he's somebody that will always have that unique ear and eye for talent. I think that you let the dog father do what he do, and he's going to give you magic.
Listen, I don't even think it's about the rappers. I think it's about the producers, because right now you got Hit Boy, Alchemist. They're the Timberlands and
Just
and
Blaze
of real hip hop, and they're the ones that are capable of bringing heat. They give these artists the heat that they need. So they're getting dudes like Freddie Gibbs and Griselda and all these dudes, Nas. They're giving them the.
And guess what? They're also giving them same records. Premier is still working. You know what I'm saying? And the Lox is still getting shit. Heat, giving heat. Fab still giving heat. Like, it's New York hip. Like I said, New York hip hop is fun.
I hope Jada don't fall off the wagon, bro.
Jada, I'm gonna be dead honest with you. Truth is that versus battle showed you that the locks are New York hip hop. No matter what anybody fucking says about shit, when you mention New York hip hop, you gotta mention LOX. And if you don't, you're fucking fooling yourself.
I think they saved New York hip hop.
Oh, so yeah.
I think they saved New York hip hop and ruined it at the same time because you're not coming out. Hold on, you're not coming out of here with no whack shit no more. You're not coming out of here unless you can perform. I don't care if you can write rhymes. Can you perform your rhymes? Are you nice? Like you really have to. You gotta have your shit tight.
That's right.
You gotta have your shit tight.
That's right.
They not only saved New York hip hop, and I'm a big Dipset fan, but it's like, yo,
me too. But I knew going in the Dipset as a collective does not have anywhere near the hits that LOX has. Period. Point. And I'm talking about their freestyles on fucking shit. All that shit. Anything LOX has ever spit is always gonna be fucking heat rocks. Man.
It wasn't hits. It was like, yo, y'all niggas is not bar heavy enough to touch the lock.
Listen, again, what do you if we're only judging hits? If we're only judging hits based on what they sold, then LOX never sells like that. But motherfuckers know
it's not sales, bro. Dipset had a movement. They revolutionized the city, bro. So they had the hits that they had, but it's a lot of beat driven shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of watered downness to it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like you said, it's distorted. It was distorted a bit.
Let me tell you something. Purple Haze, the album, is one of the greatest hip hop albums of all fucking time. Okay?
You say it again. Say it again.
Purple Haze, the album, is one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time, in my opinion.
I still listen to that shit to this day.
To me too, because it's fucking dope. But Kiss the Game Goodbye, Gangsta and the Gentleman, Walk With Me, After Taxes, like, yo, LOX just keep bumping hits. Filthy America, their most recent shit. Like, yo, they keep bringing. Styles P got some new shit out right now. Jada about to drop some new shit. You know what I'm saying? Method Man got some new shit. Redman got some new shit. Tretch said that if Eminem produces it, he'll fucking drop one solo album, but Eminem has to produce it. That tells you how much motherfucking respect motherfuckers have for fucking Eminem. Fuck it.
Here's a little respect for Eminem.
Listen, I'll be dead honest with you. I don't give a fuck about color. I care about skills. Eminem is
Eminem don't have no skills. Eminem is trash.
Stop it.
He forgot how to rap.
Yourself?
He forgot how to rap. Eminem forgot how to rap. Eminem forgot how to rap like 10 years ago, bro.
Huh?
I dare you to go back to all those ciphers. Go back to all those ciphers. Go listen to his music now. This nigga can't rap. He sucks.
Did you listen to Music to Be Murdered By?
I tried.
Did you listen to Music to Be Murdered By?
I tried.
No. Did you actually listen to it?
I'm an Eminem fan. I'm an Eminem fan. I have a playlist.
And if you didn't listen to that album, you ain't trying
Eminem's first 5 albums, lyrically, not like on no.
I'm not saying he didn't fall off
beat shit. None of that.
I'm not saying
lyrically, the dude is next level. And what he became after that, after Relapse,
because I'll tell you what, Recovery was fucking embarrassment. Phenomenal.
He's the Dwight Howard
LP2 was phenomenal. Revival, I liked it. A lot of people didn't, but I liked Revival. I did. I liked Revival. There's even some joints on Relapse that I actually joined, like Bombs Over Baghdad.
Relapse was his best album.
You think Relapse was his best album?
Relapse is his best album. My mom, one of the best lyrical exercises I've ever heard.
No, Because as long as you have an album that still has Till I Collapse, I'm spilling these raps. As long as you feel them to the day that I'm dropped, you never say that I'm not killing. Listen, Till I Collapse is one of the fucking dopest records ever. Period. Till I Collapse. Eminem.
That should, I mean, I guess we have to.
We're going to agree to disagree on that one. But as far as can Snoop Dogg save New York hip hop, I don't think New York hip hop needs saving, but I think he's definitely going to do something amazing for it. Yes.
I think he has the ability to invest in New York hip hop.
Yes.
And put it in its rightful place.
Now, why are you asking me if I prefer Benny the Butcher to Conway the Machine?
I want to know which one I want to know which one.
All right, so I'll be honest with you. I personally, and this, you know what? I think they both lyrically.
I think I know the answer already.
Griselda as a whole, collectively, individually, nasty as fuck, no question. I personally, and I'm judging, and I'm gonna give it to him because of what was spit on that DMX record that just dropped when he had all Griselda on there. And for me, it's Conway the Machine.
Okay.
It's Conway the Machine.
Okay.
I think
I agree. I
just think, just for me personally, I really appreciate what he brings to the mic. I really do.
Yeah, he has this. There's something about him. There's something about the words that he spits, and his it's not charisma. It's his confidence. Like his confidence on the mic,
charisma. It's all of those.
Yeah. Things. And his shit is interesting to me. Like I actually get into him.
Yeah. I haven't heard him come off whack once. I haven't heard him come off whack. I'm not saying
I'm not a Griselda fan. I'm not a Griselda fan. Like, listen.
I'm a fan of lyricism. You know that.
West Side Gun. He's interesting to me. His voice is very interesting.
You know what?
I'm
gonna throw a swerve.
So I was very intrigued by him. Conway, I was like, who is this dude? And then so now recently I've gotten into him. Like, yo, this dude be burning up tracks.
And here's an interesting thing. If I'm not mistaken, I met Conway the Machine like 10 years ago at like an open mic joint in the Bronx or some shit, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason I remember it is because of obviously his face. You know what I'm saying? But I found him to be so personable and honest, and honestly, he seemed like a really nice fella. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind-hearted dude. You know what I'm saying? For all these spit, he seemed like I genuinely got a genuine appreciation for him as a human being that night, because it felt like, he was just a good guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I felt. You know what I mean? And I might be mistaken. It might be somebody the fuck else. I might be bugging the fuck out. I smoked a lot of weed. But
I think he's on the rise. I hope for the sake of Griselda Gang that he doesn't leave them in the dust, because he's on his way out the door.
Well, I'm gonna be dead honest with you. One of my favorite artists that doesn't get enough respect is Saigon. Cy Giggity. That's my nigga. Motherfuckers don't even know about Saigon.
Everybody knows about Saigon.
And y'all need to know that motherfucker drop heat rocks all the fucking time. Saigon is nasty.
That's like saying Cassidy is still spitting.
He is. Actually, they're spitting together, weirdly enough. Weirdly enough, they're actually a unit on some shit.
Cassidy just got destroyed. But anyway.
Yo, listen. He was on the URL shit recently. See, I don't keep up with the URL battles and all that, and I know I should. But I ain't gonna lie. That should be having my anxiety up. Like, I can't be sitting there watching motherfuckers, like, battle rap. That should be having, like, oh my God, I feel like he wants to punch him in the face, and he probably should.
Yeah, they should spread them out more. Like that face.
Like,
Like spread that shit out. So they need a wall next to them. We need to COVID this whole situation.
Word up, y'all need social distancing. Y'all niggas don't give a fuck.
They be like this, handling your face like, yo, what are you doing, dude? Like,
all right, calm down. I get
like,
you. You'll
yo.
shoot me. I understand.
Yo.
Yes, I get you.
They like this. Where's my camera? Like, yo, son. Bitches putting their titties in your face and be like, yo.
Oh man, but yeah, no,
But yo,
yeah.
hold
I
on,
mean, and again,
hold on. But Griselda, I'll be honest, the Griselda gang, the only reason I don't listen to them because the one that is at the forefront is Benny, and I don't like Benny at all.
Why?
I don't think Benny's good. I don't think Benny's good at all.
He is. No, that's not true. It's just, you know what it is?
I think he's corny as fuck.
I'll be honest with you. For me, I'm a fan of, as we all know, I'm a fan of lyricism. Words matter. How you put them together matters. The cadence, the rhythm, the speed, it matters to me. I like how he puts this shit together. But Conway to me is a bit nicer lyrically. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
Benny's one of those dudes. You heard one verse, you heard them all. He's gonna rap. He's rapping this fake mafia type shit, and it's just so dry, dude. And the shit he talk about is just makes. I'm just not interested at all.
Oh, that's fair.
At all. And he has one style. He has one style, and it's very boring. It's very boring.
Well, I mean, all right. So look, I'll be honest.
He has good intentions, and he has good and he has good ideas. Like he does interesting things.
There are people who think Drake is lyrically nice. I am not one of those people.
You don't think Drake is nice?
There are people who think Drake is nice.
You don't think Drake is nice?
No. I'm also not one of those people that thinks Lil Wayne is the greatest ever. I'm not. I just don't. I don't think so. Sorry. He's not. He's not really that nice. He's good. Lil Wayne got shit, but I don't think he's he's not. You said he's better
not
than 3
nice?
Stacks. He's not. He's not
you
better
said
than
he's
3
not
Stacks.
Nice. Nobody's
not
better
as
than
nice
3
as people
Stacks.
make him out to be. He's not.
What? No, he's one of.
He's one of, but he's not one of
a few. He's one of a few that are exceptional. He's exceptional.
I'll give him.
Have you not listened to Lil Wayne recently?
I think for me personally, it depends on what he's on, like the type of beat and the flow and everything. Again, it matters to me. It matters, and that's why I can't always vibe with Weezy. There are times. I'm not saying he ain't got nothing here. Look, I'll be honest with you. There are
his delivery. His delivery is on a ungodly. It's on a godly level.
So I'll put it to you like this. I'll try and make it easy for you to understand.
He fell off. I get it. He fell off for a little.
Well, no,
while. He fell off for a little while.
2 songs that Drake is on that I like. Okay, 2. Drake has 2 songs in his pantheon that I actually enjoy and think he came off ill on. 2. And I don't think they're his songs. I think he's a guest star on there. All right. One is Astro from Travis Scott, which is also the only Travis Scott song I like. All right.
I don't like Travis Scott.
I don't like Travis Scott. And the other is oh shit, it's the fucking shit with him and Kendrick and 2 Chainz. I think 2 Chainz is fucking dope. I love 2 Chainz. Go figure.
I love 2 Chainz.
I love 2 Chainz. I
doesn't get enough respect.
He gets no respect, but I love 2 Chainz. I think it's dope, man. Those necklaces for real. But Lil
he's
Wayne
interesting. He's charismatic. He has ideas. Like he puts in. He's consistent. Like I like 2 Chainz.
He goes hard. 2 Chainz.
He talks that talk. I fucks with 2 Chainz.
But also, if I'm not mistaken, but for me again, and Lil Wayne has maybe, I'll say that there are maybe a good 15 records of Lil Wayne's, and I'm gonna be like, that's dope. I like that shit. So at least I like him more than I like Drake.
You gotta go listen. You gotta listen to No Ceilings 3.
I've listened to a lot of Wheezy shit, and there are a lot of times where I'm just like,
this is most recent joint.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Some next level shit right now.
Yeah, but also, if I'm being fair,
I mean, just like you say with Eminem. You think Eminem is on some crazy shit? And
hey, look, I love Kanye. I thought his last album was garbage.
Garbage?
Yeah, I thought it was trash.
You thought it was garbage?
I didn't like it.
You thought Donda was garbage?
I didn't like it. No, didn't like it.
What?
Yeah, didn't like it.
I think we need to listen to it again. I think you
I'll give it a second listen. Of course I will. But the truth is,
I understand why you didn't, but you see the thing is with Kanye, you can't judge him immediately.
No. It has nothing to do with any of his parlor tricks or anything like that. In point of fact, I am a huge Kanye West fan. I enjoy his music. I do. Like shit. He's got a lot of. I love his style, and I like Kanye. I like how he thinks. I like how his mind works.
Yeah, he's a free thinker.
But I didn't like
just
that.
Like you. Just like you.
Exactly. But I didn't like that album. But I also didn't like Drake's last album. But to be fair, there are not any Drake albums that I'm sit there and be like, oh, that's a classic. No.
I don't like Drake either.
And I don't like
Drake's music. I don't like Drake's albums.
And like Eminem says, I ain't afraid of your rise because I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts. So, but
I mean, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that.
No, but I mean,
who we like and who we don't like.
Yeah, because
but we'll agree that Conway is better. Is the
definitely. Yeah, we agree on that one. And now when you say Kendrick Lamar and his hiatus, what do you mean by that? Like
Kendrick Lamar hasn't dropped the album, a verse. He hasn't done much work. I mean, he just did the Family Ties joint.
Right. But
he hasn't dropped anything in like 4 or 5 years.
Black Panther.
That was like 4 or 5 years ago.
That's fine. Does he need to do anything else after that? Like at the moment,
I don't think so. Listen. I'm glad you said that. Like elaborate. You don't think
listen, Kendrick Lamar is going to go down in history as one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a mic. And I have respected and appreciated because I believe that. Just like J. Cole, just like motherfucker, and just like I ain't gonna lie, I got on the Nipsey Hussle late, but I like his shit. I love his shit. But I'm also, in all honesty and fairness, I'm still and always will be a huge fan of the game. The Game is my name. So Documentary is one of my favorite albums ever. You know what I'm saying?
Game?
The Game. That's right. The Game.
Yo, he's such a jerk. He tried to steal Nipsey's flow after he died. Like
he didn't try to steal Nipsey's flow.
Yes, he did.
Honestly, if you listen to Born to Rap, like there's so much homage paid to Nipsey on that album, and it's worth it. But the truth is, Kendrick is probably. Do I think Kendrick is due for a break after everything he did? Yeah, because Kendrick Lamar did a shit ton of fucking work in a very short span. I hear he's coming up on his last TDE album, and he deserves it. Like, he's gonna be lauded as one of the greatest to ever do it, as he should be. And I don't.
He broke it down. He broke it down on Family Ties. He was like, I was ducking the pandemic. I was ducking he was ducking the George Floyd shit. He was ducking the fake activism. Like these are the times when people were expecting him to drop. And he's like, nah, I'm not doing this for y'all.
Right.
I'll come out when I'm ready. And he's carrying this one thing that is missing from a lot of our favorite artists. And the people at the forefront is the mystique. Like, when you have the world in the palm of your hand, hold them there.
Yeah.
Hold them there.
Yeah.
Hold them there as long as you possibly can. If you have the ability to step away from the limelight and go live your life.
Yeah.
And then you come back and the world is still right there where you fucking left them.
That's right.
Congrats to you.
Why do you think Jay-Z drops the way he does? Why do you think Nas drops the way he does? Why do you think Meth and Red? these people have cultivated a following that's always going to look out for them for their shit. They've cultivated an audience that's always going to look out for their shit, and because of the work they do, they'll always get new audience. They'll always be able to bring in new people because they're really, really good at their craft. They're really good at what they do. And that matters. If you weren't as good at what you do, nobody's going to listen. That's why when J. Cole drops an album, it's an event. People are ready for it. They anticipate it. You know what I'm saying?
When this Kendrick album drops, it's gonna be, the whole world is gonna be watching.
Come on, man. More than Donda and more than Drake. Why? Because we know that a Kendrick Lamar album is worthy of this praise. It's worthy of this weight.
Yeah, there's no question. There's no question whether this is going to be how lyrical this is going to be. What are these beats going to be work? Who wants to work with? Everybody's going to want to work with him. They're going to give him nothing but his best.
Of course.
He's going to give you nothing but his best. You know this is going to be great.
That's right.
You know this is going to be great. I thought his hiatus was, one, explained beautifully. Two, was well-deserved. Three, I didn't even think it was that long. I was like,
it really wasn't. Like, and again, like you said, the last 2 years have been difficult on everybody, right? It's been hard for people. People have lost people. You know what I mean? People are dealing with imposing laws and infrastructure being fucked with. We got problems with it all. The world is just chaos right now. And you know, it doesn't help when everybody is afraid, right? Everybody for the last year and a half, 2 years has been afraid. Whether they'll admit it or not, whether they know it or not, everybody's been dealing with the same level of anxiety. We don't know what the fuck is next. We're always waiting for the next shoe to drop. You know what I'm saying? And I think that especially nowadays, stuff like this is important, just to be able to have a laugh and entertain. And I think that a lot of times, a lot of the times, people don't allow other people to figure things out in their own way. Nowadays we're so quick to jump down somebody's throat for thinking a certain way or expressing their views or opinions in a certain way. And I get it. You shouldn't be a hateful, arrogant asshole to people when expressing your views.
And everybody got to hurry up.
But you also shouldn't be canceled or disrespected because you view things a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them. And if you allow yourself to be stuck with what others' opinion of you is, you're going to fail. You have to do these things for yourself. And sometimes that means taking a hiatus and sitting the fuck down and just sitting back and letting it be. And then when you're ready, come on back and whoop some ass. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Kendrick Lamar is doing. I ain't mad at him.
I ain't mad at him either. I'm not mad at him either. Look at us. We're closing the show on a good note. We're
closing the show on a good note. Listen, man.
It actually feels good.
It does. Like, I feel great.
I don't like disagreeing with you.
But you know what it is? It's just, I can't lie. This is a really weird time of year for me. You know, my mom's birthday is coming up and everything. And, you know, I lost her a while back. And, you know, I've been depressed and moody of late. I've been in a real deep funk. And, you know, I've got some things going on. But the truth is, I'm alive, I'm blessed, I'm breathing. You know what I'm saying? My family and friends, they're healthy, they're good. And the only thing I can do is keep being positive, keep moving forward, and that's all any of us can do. But
listen, this right here, it's the wristband. See what it says?
Yeah.
Suicide prevention.
Yeah.
Mental health awareness. I done rubbed it all out. It's a mental health awareness month. Listen,
that's right.
Listen, a lot of people from day to day can feel, let's say one day you could just feel down.
Yep.
Down to the point where, oh my God, I don't even think this is worth it anymore. Like I'm done with this shit.
Right.
But tomorrow will come and something miraculous will happen to the point where all of that stuff is now gone. The things that you were worried about are gone.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that we have to do, is that we have to stay out of, I mean, we got to live in the moment. You got to live in the moment. But you have to understand that your next moment might be your greatest moment. Right. You don't know how it's going to happen because you can't predict the future. But that's the problem, is when a lot of people are ready to give up, they're too busy trying to look into the future and trying to foresee something great happening to them. And it doesn't happen like that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You have to live in the moment. You have to, you know what I'm saying? You create your greatness every minute that you breathe, and you have to continue to give yourself a chance. Yeah. Tomorrow's price is not yesterday's price. Right. Meaning tomorrow, the feeling that you feel tomorrow is not how you're going to feel today. You may feel a whole lot better than you felt today. Right. You might feel a whole lot worse than you felt today. That's right. But that's life. Life is a roller coaster. You're never gonna ride a low wave throughout your entire life. It's gonna go up, it's gonna go down. So whenever you're feeling moody or whatever the case may be, you have to even appreciate that. You have to appreciate that just as much as you have to appreciate the days when the joy that you have, the certain days that you feel joy.
That's right. And to piggyback on that, I'll say this, man. There is no shame in asking for help. There is no shame in feeling like you don't have it all together. And if you are feeling suicidal, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling scared, if you feel like nobody's listening to you, hey, somebody will. Pick up the phone, reach out. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you are, where you're from, man. Reach out. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like, if you're going through a time where things are difficult.
See, here we go again.
Reach out.
Here we go again. Wishful thinking. Here's a better thing. Hit my Instagram at Mr. Soul 3000. Hit me. Hit my direct line. Hit me live. We can talk about anything. I can guarantee you, I am all ears for anything that anybody ever has anything going on with.
And you know what?
I believe that there's nobody out there that should be thinking the worst possible thoughts to the point where they're depressed and they can't get out of it. I can help you get out of it.
And you know what?
And hopefully, and if you find somebody in your life that really is attentive to you and listens to you and values you, you really need to keep that person close to you.
Oh yeah, especially if they're pushing you to do better. If they're asking you to make changes that are beneficial to you, trust me, ride that wave. It's always for your betterment. And I'll be honest with you too. You know what? That's very interesting. What I'm going to do is make sure I put a link here in the description of the video. You can leave a voice message on my page on Anchor or Spotify or whatever. You can leave a voice message for me if you're going through anything. Leave one. My Instagram is FrankStarFire6. Feel free to DM me if you're feeling down, depressed, anything. You need to talk. You don't know who else to reach out to. I am not a licensed professional, but I'll damn sure try and help you out, man. Word up.
I'm a bootleg therapist, certified.
I'm a bootleg therapist. Word up. I don't have a degree, but I know the terms.
We established this already. You're a bootleg doctor.
Right.
It's a whole different ballgame. They
Yeah,
call
man,
you
what
for
are you doing
they call you for their medical needs. They call you for their medical needs. Dr. Sebi.
I mean, you know, I try to do what I can, you know.
Oh,
But
let
on
me
that note,
guess. You have many hats.
I wear many hats,
I
my
have
man.
many
But
hats.
no, listen.
Many hats.
Listen, man. Yo, as ever, brother Shaun Wallace, I appreciate you for joining me. This has been the Just to Be Frank podcast. I am, of course, Frank Starfire.
Yes.
Make sure you
Another
hit
agree
that
to
like button,
disagree
hit the
segment.
subscribe button. What'd you say?
I said another agree to disagree segment.
Oh, always. It's always good, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when we do more of this malarkey and shit. And like we said, man, if you're feeling down, depressed, moody, don't try and face it alone if you don't have to. Reach out.
Hit me up,
Somebody
baby.
got
Hit me
you,
up.
man. One love. Abracadabra. Peace.